Hi, I'm Jeremy Watson, CEO of Bedrock Acquisitions. Over the last decade, my team has helped people buy over 4,000 properties all across this country. The truth is, when you're buying a property like we do, many times you're not buying in your own backyard. So the first thing you have to do is you have to identify your market. Different markets have different benefits, and the truth is different markets have different strengths and risks. We're going to really want to understand all of those before we just start throwing money at a market and buying houses, right? We have markets right now that are actively producing between 5 to 7% cash on cash returns. We have markets that are appreciating at 20%, 25% per year. We have markets that are producing a 1% cash on cash return. And we have markets that are appreciating at 4, 5, 6, 10% per year. The truth is you're going to want to really understand what your goals are before you start buying. Because if you start buying, you're going to start becoming an expert, and that's really what you want. You want to become an expert and understand what you're after with your markets, but each market works differently. We're currently buying in 5 major US markets, and each one's different. And we've bought dozens to hundreds of properties in each of those markets. And so we learn something new every day about how to be the biggest fish in those ponds. Number 2, you're going to want to understand what you're buying for. Are you buying for appreciation, or are you buying for cash flow? The truth is, those things usually don't go hand in hand. In a great appreciation market where the properties are going through the roof in value, you're usually paying a little more because they're going through the roof in value. If you're buying for cash flow, usually the properties aren't going through the roof in value because they're really good rent performers. And if property values are going up like crazy, rents have to keep up. So it's a good cash flow asset. Those things don't necessarily go hand in hand. We have appreciation markets, we have cash flow markets, and we have some that are right in between. You've got to figure out what year you want to buy, right? Do I want to buy new houses, new builds? Do I want to work directly with builders? Do I want to buy old houses? Do I want to go older than 1980 and do a lot of rehab? Do I want to stay newer than 1980 and avoid lead bands? There's a lot of those little pieces that you've got to be pending with. You've got to understand those little pieces before you go buy property. If you don't, you're just doing something with naked risk. And that's never the way to buy an asset. Beyond that, you've got to find your local partnerships, okay? You've got to find your realtors and your brokers and your rehabbers and your trusted third parties. Let's say you find a rehabber and they say they're great. Well, who are you going to have? Go behind that guy and make sure they do good work. Make sure that they didn't charge you $6,000 to put in a sprinkler system that never got put in. And we've seen that. The truth is you've got to have all those on-the-ground pieces to help you build a good team if you're not buying in your own backyard. And the truth is, if you're watching this video, your backyard's probably terrible to buy rental real estate. That's why this company exists. We help people in your backyard get better rental real estate. So you've got to understand all of these moving pieces and have teammates who are in the market able to help with those things. Beyond that, you've got to have some strategic partnerships, right? You've got to have a lender who knows how to do investment lending. Based on the numbers that we see, and from the National Association of Mortgage Brokers, or whatever their group is called, we see that 40% of all investment loans fall out in underwriting. That means you jump through all the hoops, you get your 1099s, you get your W-9s, you get whatever, you give them all your documents, you get your pay stubs and everything, and that mortgage broker doesn't know how to do an investment loan. So you cough up all that data, and at the end of the day, he can't get it to close by closing, you're out some money, or you have to just go find another broker. It's a huge hassle. Work with someone who knows how to buy investment property. Right? Our lenders have like a 98% success rate because they only do investment property. So you got to have those key people on your team who know how to do what you're trying to do. But it's way more complicated than that. Based on source of funds, where your money is, it can get super complicated. You can have your money in an IRA or a self-directed IRA. You could be selling a piece of property that you bought 20, 30, 40 years ago inside of a self-directed IRA. So you need a 1031 custodian. On top of that, you could want to leverage some property so you don't screw up your boot calculation or whatever, right? And you could need someone who will lend inside of a self-directed IRA who knows how to do investment lending. The truth is, those are all really complicated, specific birds that you got to have on your team, right? And the truth is, we have those. We've done this over 4,000 times over the last decade. We have every single person that you're going to need, and they've been vetted by us and done this with us over and over and over. So no matter what you need, no matter how complicated it gets, we've done that. You see it all in 4,000 properties. So we've done that, we're happy to help, but the truth is there's a lot of complicated moving parts to buying good, good investment real estate these days, Bedrock Acquisitions is here to help. We love doing it. We're thrilled to do it. If you have any questions at all, feel free to call us. We'll go from there. Thank you so much for your time. You have a good day.